I'm happy to bring you this year's mid-season recap. I'm your host, the Director of Communications, here with special guest and permanent resident of the Baker Fields Roaches bench, one Cam Newton. Now let's start off looking at the records so far. Now in our left nut division, we have barking up a tree up to first place with a record of 6-2. Now unfortunately, we go all the way down to the Boosie Busters, 3-5, and it's looking rough for them. Now on the right nut, hopped on trend with a lead of 5-3, not as commanding as the other side. And yikes, foot fetish at the bottom, record of 1-7. You hate to see it. Cam, do you have any thoughts on these standings? I couldn't agree more. Now, I thought we would delve into these numbers a little bit more. I've put together a projection more about what's happened so far in the season. Points for and against. And if you look at this, shockingly enough, I know, Bark has the most points. And you'll notice on the left side that trend's in a similar direction, more points, less wins. Now Bark, a little lucky, they have these, I think, the fewest points against, which is, call it luck. I don't know if it makes a difference, they all have points, but it is what it is. And then moving over to the Boosie Busters, yikes. The right nut, if you look, is a little bit more, I would say volatile. You got hopped on trend with not many points for, not many points against, ergo a needy first place on that division. And foot fetish, at a certain point, you gotta feel bad for the guy. I mean, sure, he's got the least points, but he's got the most points against him, I believe. My God, that sucks. All right, Cam, any additional insights that you'd like to add to this? Couldn't agree more. All right, now before we dive into a look at our individual teams' performances, I think I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. What we've been doing behind the stage, our R&D team has been doing a little bit of R into our manager's B's, if you know what I mean. And they have uncovered something that can only be described as just a list of hidden fetishes, which will be publicized right now. Now let's go to the teams. Bark. Known for messing with the furries a little, only though. Who's on leashes. Now Cam, what do you have to say about Bark's performance this year? All good stuff. All right. Next up, the Kazakh Kings, going a little bit in a different direction into, as we found out, Japanese Navy men. Cam, what do you have to say about the Kazakh Kings? Okay, hold it there, bud. All right, next up, we gotta dive into the Limp Bizkit himself, who cannot get enough of Chansey from Pokemon. And a bit rotund, but just catch. Cam, what do you think about Limp Bizkit? That's all right if I call you Cam, by the way? Cool. All right. Coming down the left nut, we got the Golden Treasures, who, this guy cannot get enough of xylophilia. It is a thing, and he loves it. And what do you think about it? Okay. And rounding out the left nut, we have the last place team, the Bussy Busters. And, you know, he's a tried and true man, and he loves that teacher schoolboy role play. And, ooh, you can't get enough of it. Cam, I'd like to hear what you have to say about the Bussy Busters. Take. All right. Well, let's move on to the right nut, shall we? We've rounded out that one. Let's start at the top of the right nut. Let's hear some takes. First off, hopped on trend. And this was a shocker. I'll be honest. He has a thing for dusty cougars. I know, rawr. Ooh, Cam. What do you think about Hop on Trend's performance this year? Good stuff. Well, moving down the list to the Bakersfield Roaches, and this one, I would say is a bit more niche. Our R&D team found out that this manager just cannot get enough of that Mothra Godzilla fanfiction. And I'm sure the lore is deep. There's so much info, and maybe that's it, but I think it's... Get it on, I can. You got a Godzilla level take for this guy? Truly gargantuan. Next up. Are you not done? Okay, alright, cool. Good stuff. Well, next up is Watson's Legal Team. Now, this is another niche one. It's Burly Centaurs Running Favorites. Now, this seems very specific, and it is, but when it hits, I've been told it hits big. And what do you think? Ooh, excuse me. Let's keep on going down the list onto the Tokyo Drift Express, whose hidden fetish we found to be piping red hot iron nipple clamps. Truly sound. Can't wait. What do you think about this team performance this year, thus far? All good bits. Sound. Oh. You're too kind. Well, enough of that. Let's move on to our last team. Just a bummer. No two ways about that. That would be Tarantino's foot fetish. And yikes, oh yikes. We found out that their fetish is hands. Yikes. Gonna have to do that for the rest. Didn't know. They didn't tell me ahead of time. I've been doing stuff in the video with my hands the whole time. Alright, cool. Well, Cam. See, you've got your hands stowed away, you clever man. What do you think about Tarantino's foot fetish? Dog shit. That's it. Ah, a little more. Oh. Yep, couldn't agree more. Just doing really poorly. Not a good time. Alright, well, thank you all for tuning in to this broadcast. And if you want to hear more of Cam's thoughts on these teams, and take a better look at all these numbers we got, check out this week's weekly newsletter. Thank you again, Cam, for coming in today, and I will see you guys later. Cheers.